Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 on the PlayStation 5 Pro. We're back, and hopefully everybody's having a fantastic week halfway through week number 2 of 2026, and cruising hopefully closer to a new update, just in general for the public release, and then of course we're getting closer to the Sim Update 5 beta, which I'm very much looking forward to seeing what's included in that. And of course, how it works with PlayStation as well, because this will be the first time we have that going on, so looking forward to it. The other thing is, I've made some tweaks again to how ads work on the stream. So, because I keep getting comments saying, oh, there's a lot of ad breaks, which again, I don't control. I'm not the one clicking the button, but we'll see if that makes a difference. Hopefully it's better for you. But we're going to start off with the C-17. To see if there's issues with the audio. But hello, do a delag. Hello, Monorific, Almost Aaron, Snus, Simon, Salo, and Graham. Hello, everybody. Hopefully you're having a fantastic Wednesday. Let me double check everything here. We should be good. Again, US West and North European servers are gone, so we're always on East US servers now. And everything's set up perfect. Just want to make sure. So if you want to join up, I don't even know where I went. I know I'm down in, I believe, Central America. Let me give you the definitive answer on that. By the way, let me make sure everything's good on audio. It should be. Yes. Bring that down a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Alright, we are at Mike Hotel Tango Golf Airport. Tonkinton International, to be exact. So MHTG, or Mike Hotel Tango Golf, is where we're at. And yeah. If you want to join on up, you can do so. Alright, let's start this thing on up. Let's listen for any audio issues. So far, sounds normal. So, unsurprisingly, there's no issues with the audio. So I don't know why that one viewer was so adamant about me dropping my MD11 stream that we were doing to come over to do this, so... This is exactly why I didn't bother with it, because I knew there wasn't going to be any issues with the audio, so... Very shocked by this outcome. Just unbelievable. Yeah, Monorific, right? Amazing. The audio's perfectly fine. Would have never guessed that. I mean, my goodness. That was the most obnoxious set of comments in a chat that I've ever seen. And Toby, glad you're enjoying the content. Happy to have you here. And Taco, hello. Oh my goodness. Hello, everybody. We got an A400, a 747, and a C-17 all jumbled together. I love it. And the airport is... I forgot already, even though I said it. MHTG. Uh-oh, now audio's really going to glitch out with multiplayer players here. Hopefully it's just on the startup and not continuously. I really need to... Everybody needs to really choose a different parking spot when they spawn on in so it doesn't cause an issue. Oh man, let's get our headphones on. Pile up, yeah, no doubt, Russell. But hello, welcome, welcome. But yeah, my favorite comment was the one where it's like, oh, I guess you don't like reporting bugs. It's like, okay. That was the moment where I'm like, I'm done with you. You're gone. As if I don't spend all of my minutes when the beta's going on or anything like that in said beta to report bugs. So I was like, you know what? At this point, I don't want you on this channel anymore. Goodbye. Because I think it's so rude. Because just like when we were doing beta stuff and people were asking about certain things and I wasn't getting to somebody else's request fast enough, it's like, you know, I'm focused on somebody else's question. We'll get to it and everything else. But the other side of it too is with the MD11 stream, obviously that was the focus of that stream. We were also on PC. I wasn't going to derail the whole thing to adjust everything to go to the PlayStation and then, you know, it's just... I appreciate everybody else who's always on the streams and courteous of other people's questions and me answering them and showing them and all that type of stuff. So I appreciate everybody else for having common sense and understanding what I'm doing. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Now let's get up into the air with our C-17 with the broken audio, apparently. By the way, I have no idea anything about the C-17, so she'll complain about the stabilizer. I'm not really too worried about it. I'm assuming it's probably about takeoff trim, but we'll just leave it alone. It'll stop once we're up in the air. All I do know about the C-17 though is it still needs some optimization. It isn't 100%. But it's still better than it was. And by the way, if you're wanting to join, we're on US East servers. Yep. Listen to that broke C-17 audio. That will always be our inside joke now with this aircraft anytime we fly it. We'll do a couple loops around here, because again, if you want to fly with us, we're at MHTG, Mike Hotel Tango Golf of Takantin International Airport on US East servers. gonna try to do a landing with this. These never go well, I'm just gonna tell you now. I hardly have any time in the C-17. But I do need to get used to it just for the fact that, you know, once remote cargo operations, I'm assuming this will be part of heavy cargo as well. Because I do want to use it in career mode. It'll be awesome once that's arriving. Hey Dean, welcome to the stream! And Daniel, hey Catan, love your videos. I wanted to ask if you have any idea on whether cargo heavy or super heavy, and it's not in the sim just yet. I'm really hoping we're not far away from it. Because, I mean, we've been waiting for that since Sim Update 3, then it was pushed to Sim Update 4, and then it was supposed to release with Sim Update 4, and now it's still not released. So we'll see what's going on. I don't know if it's been pushed to Sim Update 5 or not, or if it's just going to be something that releases randomly through a server-side update, which is typically how career mode things happen. So we'll just have to wait and see. No definitive answer on if and when it's coming, so I'm just hoping it's soon. So I can see myself on your stream, but not on, and that can't see me. So that's probably because you are not set to all players. So if you go back to the free flight menu and then click on flight conditions, make sure you're set to all players. Because I think I adjusted my... Here, actually, you can just leave it. I'll go to live time. Hang on. But that's probably why. Because if live players is set to green, that means you're set to live players. I'm always changing up the time, but you might see me now. Because I just adjusted the time of day a little bit for my thumbnail. You are welcome, Daniel, and I'll certainly try. I'm kind of hoping the Sim Update 5 beta lets us do PlayStation VR stuff. It'd be nice to test that out early on. But no guarantee of that being a thing, but it would be nice. I'm sure they would love to see some feedback on that. Uh-oh. I feel like me changing my time kind of made people disappear now. Hopefully that's not the case. Absolutely love the C-17. Would be so cool to use in career mode. Well, we're almost there, 25. Because it'll support remote cargo operation missions, which we don't have just yet, and I'm sure it'll be part of heavy as well. But it will be eventually in career mode, which will be awesome. Hey Cowtown, which day every week does Microsoft Flight Sim drop new things in the marketplace? It's every Monday and Thursday. Can we fly with you? Absolutely! We are hanging around the airport of Mike Hotel Tango Golf, or Takantan International Airport. So MHTG is where we're at on US East servers with all player condition. And well, sim updates are always improving everything across the board. They're always the big major updates. So be it with performance improvements, quality of life changes, new features, new content, all that type of stuff. Oh, there's no fixed cameras? Dang. gonna get a cool shot of the gears, but that's okay. And Sabir, hello, welcome. And yeah, CJs, no doubt. I mean, your next plane should be whatever you're interested in. My two personal favorites that I use 100% of the time are the CJ4 for VIP flights, and then the PC24 for my medium cargo stuff. It's showing us high still. If I go any lower, I'll be on the hill there. We just flew over it. That wasn't too bad. What are you saying to me? What? 10? I don't know what you're saying to me, but... We're fine. Goodness gracious. Hey Paul, hello, hello. Nope. Here it does not matter what plane you fly. It doesn't matter how you fly it. There's no strict rules here. I don't care what you fly. I'm not one of those community flights where everything has to be very specific. If you're not flying a 172, you are banned and kicked out of the community flight. But nope, you can fly whatever you want anytime. It doesn't matter. None of that nonsense here. But we're flying at Mike Hotel Tango Golf. We'll go for one more landing here. And then we'll just kind of head out wherever, really. Maybe we'll go down to Panama. Check out the canal or something. Be a fun little adventure down south. Which, by the way, glad everybody enjoyed the MD-11 stream. Been having a blast with that plane. It'll be awesome once that gets into career mode. Once it releases on the marketplace. Which again, that'll release on Xbox and PC. And then of course it'll be on the PlayStation as well in the spring with Sim Update 5. Model matching is just something that's needing a lot of improvements, so not all the time you'll see the person in the correct aircraft. It just, there's nothing you can personally do to fix that, really. Captain, I would assume it would be a lot of stuff releasing at once. Because again, the reason why there's a delay on that is Sim Update 5 is going to be bringing changes to the marketplace, and this also gives all the developers time to get everything situated for releasing on PlayStation. So it's kind of a mix of two things. I would imagine the marketplace would be pretty packed when it does open up with the third-party content in the spring. Oh, very nice, CJs. Glad you're having good flights with the Longitude. What plane were you flying, Paul? Because there's some planes where you need to toggle to autopilot on. There's like an autopilot switch, like the TBM 930 has that, and things like that, so... Hey, Top Ramen! Hello! I finally got my hands on the sim, working on my commercial license. Good to see you in the sky. Very nice! Hopefully you're having a blast with the sim, Ramen. Oh, I'm sure they will, CJs. I'm hoping they're going to be gone by the time Sim Update 5 releases. We'll see, though. After this touch and go, we are heading on out. You know, I was too busy talking and not lining us up at all the way I want to. We're coming in way too fast. All I do know is a lot of planes have audio issues anyways, just with multiplayer, especially when there's fighter jets around. They really just, they need some improvements, because the fighter jets just cause almost every plane to have audio issues, especially if there's multiple of them in the area. Because all the fighters do is really cause everything to go wrong. And then of course when people are flying around you, normally you wouldn't have that issue, but if people are right next to you on landings and finals and just in general, you're going to have a lot of frame issues going on. I'm hoping this can clear out, because I don't want to hear this the whole time. There we go. Sort of. We're getting there a little bit. Oh, there was a car. Was I in reverse just now? What happened there? But yeah, they need to work on that. Because if people are right next to you flying along, it can cause some major frame drops that wouldn't be happening otherwise. I think the fighters might have jacked our audio up. I think it's catching up again. Now we're back. But alright. Let's head over to Panama. But again, they need to really work on multiplayer audio. Fighter jets just wreak havoc on your own aircraft. I mean, we've seen that with everything else we've flown too, be it private jets, even general aviation aircraft have the same issue happening, because I think it's just, once there's so many planes flying around and it's trying to get the audio for your plane, all the other stuff, it really kind of creates this jumbled mess for the audio, and it leads to the just popping audio and everything else that it does to pretty much every aircraft you're flying personally. And then the other side of it is, whenever anybody's flying next to you, when you're on final and landing, it does not help out your frames, because it creates these stutters that, again, if you were just playing solo or whatever, wouldn't be happening. I'm sure some of it could be optimization things too regarding the plane you're flying, but in general, there's a lot of improvements to be made on the multiplayer side of things. But alright, let's go to the left just a little bit more. Does this tablet work, by the way? Oh, it does. Oh. Nice. I don't think I've ever utilized this before. Can even add cargo to it. We'll mess with that once we're all set up. Right. Let me see if because I think I tried doing this before and I just had no idea what I was doing with the, $139. I'll do 140. Heading hold. Autopilot master switch on. You're got roll and then heading. There we go. Set my altitude to, let's do 15,000. Autopilot turb mode. We'll just do VNav, see what happens. Not much happening at all, actually. Are we in an altitude hold mode? Did it just go into it automatic? No, not. We're climbing, but I don't think it's just, I think it's just doing whatever it wants to do at this point. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so that's how we get to auto throttle. Perfect. I'll bring this up to 280. Oh. Here, we'll wait till we reach the speed that I... Oh, actually, crap. Wait, no. Where is this going to? Oh, let me set this too. There we go. Okay. I keep forgetting, so when you're on the dials here, you click X again in order for it to activate. It's a little bit different than the airliners, but... Okay, so then let me do 15,000 again. Are we good, by the way? Okay, I want to make sure we're not hitting any mountains. I don't see that doing anything. Let's just try this again. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, now we should start climbing. Oh, we're supposed to climb. We got the VV plus 50. Oh, that's 50 feet. Oh, forget that. Let's go up. Come on now. Nice. Okay. We're getting the hang of the C-17 autopilot, which is great, because up until about 5 minutes ago, I never used it before, so... Audio's still crackling now after that. I think it's just a lingering effect. Unfortunately. Because everything was fine till the fighters blew by. Oops. Oh, goodness. Are we good still? Sorry, plane. Whenever you're hanging on the doors, you don't actually have walk-around control. Oh, that sucks. Oh, everything was perfect, too. Ugh. Well, if it lingers for too much longer, I'll have to restart, because I'm not going to listen to that the whole time. I like the Flight Simulator X in the background running on Windows XP over here. Go outside for a little bit and see if that helps. I'm gonna mute that for now because I don't want to hear it. Because yeah, I mean, we saw it was all fine beforehand, and then the fighter flew by and jacked it all up. Let me catch back up with chat here. Yeah, I don't think my audio is going to come back anymore. Oh, that sucks. Right after we get Autopilot all set up. Another reason for me to dislike fighter jets. I was the 172? Yeah, I've not seen any situations where Autopilot didn't engage there. I'll keep an eye out for it, but... we're flying to Panama, is kind of the goal. Has this calmed down now? Sounds like it. I say that, and then I turn it up and I start hearing it more and more. Oh, I mean, the audio was fine up until the fighter jet flew by, so... Here, guys, keep flying the way you're going. Because I just want to test it, because before everybody came in, everything was good with the audio. I don't know if it's something that happens as you get going, but I'm pretty sure it was the fighter jet, because the fighter jet jacks up every plane's audios. So, hang on. I'm going to just have it without multiplayer. Just keep going the way you're going. I'll get back up to you. I just want to test it without anybody around so we can see if it's just the plane itself, but I'm pretty sure it's the multiplayer audio syncing that causes the issues, and then it just lingers. So I'll catch back up with chat really quick. I'm just going to listen to the audio and see what happens. So we'll go with no multiplayer just for a little bit, see if it's something that happens later into the flight, but I'm going to assume the audio will be perfect. It's just the fighter jet jacks everything up. It's probably a mix of fighter jets, and then if there's multiple different aircraft that the sim is trying to simulate the audio from the multiplayer side of things, is probably another mix of why it messes things up here. But I would assume the biggest culprit is the fighters. Because anytime we've flown anything and a fighter jet goes flying by, a lot of the times, the C-17's a bit different. It seems like it just messes it up completely for the length of the flight. But when we were flying like private jets or anything like that, we were also having the audio crackling happening and just messing everything else up on my own audio side. So we'll just go for a little bit here and go from that. Because again, the audio was fine up until the fighter flew by. And that was with multiplayer players around us doing touch and goes. Everything sounded great. Just like it does now. No wonder I was fighting it. I was like, autopilot must be on, because I don't know why I'm swaying back and forth. Hey, Pale Knight, welcome to the stream, and Mike, welcome as well. Nice team, don't have Discord. And 25, you hold L1 and then use the left and right stick, like an FPS game, to move around. Left stick to move, right stick to move the camera around, left trigger to lower the camera, right trigger to raise the camera. Hang on. Yeah, FMJ. Uh-huh. But yeah, I'm pretty... C-17's fine outside of multiplayer. And again, I think it's the fighter that really triggers the audio to just break. The fighters in general just need improvements on multiplayer audio. Sure, they sound great, but they really just kill the audio for everybody else's aircraft for the most part. Because as you can tell, the C-17 is perfectly fine. But again, I'll keep going for a little bit, see if it's something that just happens after a certain amount of time, and it glitches it out. Hit that one more time here. There we go, perfect. That should go to 148. Set to 15,000 feet. Nice. I'm getting the hang of the autopilot, which is making me very happy. Fabian, thank you for the 2. You didn't have to say. I mean, I was gonna get to your comment. You didn't have to say it again, but I don't. I have no idea. I just know the F-18 jacks things up. So. But yeah, for those of you that were flying with us, I'll get back to it. Just wanting to see if anything happens as we keep going here. Probably have your character quantity set to low or off if you're not seeing passengers in the jetway. I have no idea, Moise. Using the DualSense with Flight Sim, I'm noticing that when I combine pitch and roll, full stack stick during flare, and a bit of aileron, pitch authority drops and the nose falls. Sounds like you're going too slow. So the plane's nose is just dropping at that point. And very nice man named Jed. Always love watching the C-17s. 200 pounds when it first came out. Well, that's still the same price, because you got the Aviator edition. Yep, you turn on the tablet. Oops. And you got cargo doors, paratrooper doors, all that. I have Mario. I have no idea. I've never changed any of my settings with analog sticks or sensitivity or anything like that, so I've not seen any issues regarding that. Average price for liveries? I mean, they're pretty much $5 and below for the most part. Depending on where you're going to, but anything is pretty much... There's a lot of developers that make a bunch of liveries for about $3, so there's a lot of great options out there for that. And I'm sure this is some ramp stuff too, yep. So if you don't want to use it through the tablet, you can go through all this stuff to operate all that. Still not a single audio issue. Which airport are we gonna land? No clue. I guess the major one. Put your air brakes away, dude. What are you even talking about? Anyways. Hey, Dev. Hope your day's going well thus far. Where are we flying today? We took off from somewhere in, I believe, Mexico still. It might have been a different country at that point. But we're heading to Panama. But again, it's under graphics, character quantity. If it's set to off or low, you're probably not going to see anybody in the jetway. And how long has this flight been going for without a single audio pop or anything wrong with the audio? Been in the air for... Oh, there's no time. Wait, one. Oh, this doesn't show me a time anymore? Oh, come on. That's annoying. I always liked using that. Well, I was gonna look, but YouTube got rid of my timestamp on my scroll bar for some reason. Been a good bit though, I know that. Haven't seen any other players on Microsoft Flight Sim in weeks, probably because your multiplayer's off. And respect, hello! Hello, hello. Is the Pro fan really quiet? I've never noticed it out of 370 hours or so, or wherever I'm at now, on the PlayStation side of things. Actually over 400 if we include the beta time. You know, I'm getting... Oh my goodness gracious. I literally streamed on PC 2 days ago with the MD11. I don't know why this always happens now, where I literally stream on another platform the day before and then I'll get a comment saying, you haven't played on this one forever. Oh man. Anyways. I think I need a break. Oh, goodness. Just gets to a point where it's just, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways. Still no issues with the C17 audio. I don't know what else to do, Simon. I really don't. I mean, I literally try to play on different platforms throughout everything, and then I still get comments saying, oh, you haven't played on PC in what seems like for months. Even though it was a whopping 2 days ago and we spent about 3 hours on the PC version showcasing the MD11. Whatever. I don't. Oh, crap, man. It just gets so... Copilot, I don't even know anymore. I have no words. I have no words anymore. Oh look, the last few videos. MD11 on the PC. New flight tracker, both PC and Xbox. Fishing add-on was on PC. The, whatever this thing was called, the A1 Skyraider was also on PC. But I never play on PC anymore. Hello, Heisenberg. Doing great. Hopefully you are as well on this fantastic Wednesday. Happy to see you back in another live stream. Appreciate it. I definitely do not have long surfer hair, no. That is hilarious. I've been on camera a few times on the channel. It's around. You never play on the Nintendo DS anymore. I know. You know, I'm just so focused on PlayStation, I don't play on anything else anymore. It's over. Oh, Weirdy Beardy, hello! Alright, goodbye. See you later. Go to a channel that focuses only on PC. See you later. Goodness gracious. If only there was a whole page of a subscription so you'd be able to see everything going on. But bye! See you later. I won't have to keep getting... I think you've asked this multiple times as well, if I'm not mistaken. Which is why I'm so annoyed by it, because I think this is about the third time you've come to the stream and said, oh, did you abandon PC? Did you not do PC content anymore? It's just, oh my goodness. And once it gets to the third time of hearing the same stupid thing again, it gets annoying, so... Oh my goodness. Thank goodness, now I don't have to have that question be asked anymore. It just gets to a point where it's just so frustrating. Like, I tried, you know, the course of everything I've done on Flight Sim through betas and everything like that, if people ask a question I've answered 100,000 times, I don't care. I'm happy to answer it for you. But when it's the same person saying, oh, you don't play on this platform anymore, even though I've answered it many times and I've been on those platforms many times, in the course of 2 weeks, it's just, what is this? Goodness. And I'm glad you left. Appreciate it. You're banned anyways, so I was going to ban you so it wouldn't matter either way. God. Snow! Hi Cowtown was watching some old videos of Miltech Mission Hub. Do you still play them? No, I do not. Just because, I mean... At this point, I'm just so focused on the NSIM career mode. I'm not focused on third-party career stuff. It's cool. If you guys get it, and you've been doing Miltech Mission Hub stuff, I hope you've been enjoying it immensely. It's a cool tool. I'm excited to see where it goes in the future. But right now, it's really limited. It'll be nice when it opens up to everything, being able to make your own passenger transport missions, firefighting missions with other aircraft and all that type of stuff, which I think you can technically, well, no, you couldn't. At least not when I was doing videos over it. But, yeah, it's not something I've touched since those videos. But again, if you like the Miltech Mission Hub and everything like that, I hope you continue to enjoy it. And I'm sure they're still working on bringing it over to console. I know they were running into a lot of issues regarding getting it into the marketplace. So, yeah. But I haven't really been paying too much attention to it, Snow. So I'm not sure what changes have been made since release. But yeah. You need to get back on the Atari. The community over there misses you. Oh, I know, I just dropped that too. Once the PlayStation released, I wasn't on the Commodore 64 either anymore. So I apologize about that. We will get back to my Pong series in the next week or so. That way everybody's happy about that, so. Exactly, Marco. I mean, if people really want PC-only gameplay, there's about 90% of the channels out there are only focused on PC. But I try my best to focus on everything else as well, especially when the Sim Update 5 beta comes around. We'll be doing our test streams on the Xbox, the PC, and the PlayStation. But I feel like I've been doing a good job of trying to bring everybody into one area. It's not like everything's just been PlayStation 100% of the time for the past few months. I've always paid attention to marketplace add-ons, things that I thought would be interesting for viewers, be that planes, airports, the marketplace series, everything like that. So I mean, I'm trying to have a nice spread of content through the different platforms. So I don't really know why it matters what platform I'm playing the sim on anyways. It's the exact same sim. We're flying the same places. It's just on a specific platform. But again, still trying to do stuff on other things as well to create a nice mix of content. So Houston and Jesse can't please anyone anymore. No, certainly can't. Hey Nate, hello, hello. Appreciate it, John. Well, it just, I mean, it gets to a point where you have this pattern going on from one person, and it gets to a point where it's just like, I don't know what you want me to do. We literally were on PC 2 days ago, and then you come in here saying, oh, you haven't played on PC in a while. Okay. Yeah. Anyways. I missed the Sinclair ZX81 content. Simon, you know, it's just, I couldn't get there anymore, you know? It broke on me, it's really expensive to replace. What about Commando Keen? I don't even know what that one is, to be honest. For me, career mode on base PS5 is a disaster whenever it feels like it... Okay. Whenever it feels like the engine randomly shuts off in the middle of a flight. One time this happened in the middle of a 1-hour flight and it failed. Are you refueling? Because if you go into a mission and you don't refuel yourself, you're running into fuel problems. The other thing is, some planes require you to pick a certain side of the fuel tank. A lot of them have a both selector, but a lot of them are only left and right. So if you're sticking to one tank and you didn't refuel before the mission, you can absolutely run out of fuel in a short amount of time. So what planes were you flying with that? We appreciate the PS5 showcase, that's what I play on, but it's known you're on all platforms. Exactly, 25. And I appreciate it, because everybody on PlayStation, you know, you guys watch my other stuff too when it's not on PlayStation. And same goes for everybody else pretty much on PC and Xbox. You also come over and watch the PlayStation stuff as well. I very much appreciate that. It's just the very select few who just seem to pick and choose when things are like, oh, I don't even know how it happens, to be honest with you. When's the next update coming out? Should be about a couple... Well, I'm hoping we get a regular public release update at some point. That would be nice. Especially to fix the flickering screens that have been plaguing forever. On the, you know, the private jets and everything like that. Some other improvements in general. I'm surprised we haven't had that just yet. Same with the XB1 audio being broke. But yeah, again, no audio issues. So let me get back with the viewers here. Sorry, I didn't mean to spend too much time away. Got a little sidetracked. I'd like to fly the C-17 more, but we'll hop into it, see if it happens. I'm sure it will with the multiplayer side of things. Where be everybody? Here, let me reset the free flight here. Hello? Oh, I know what happened. When you turn off multiplayer, I think this goes into... Yep. There we go. There you all are. Hello! Alright, I'll spawn back in here. We'll see if it does what it needs to. If it starts audio glitching out again, I'm going to chalk it up to multiplayer players. Create the C-17's audio problems, because that whole flight without multiplayer on, there wasn't a single second of broken audio with the C-17. Oops, did I just... What did I just hit? I think we're good. I thought I hit the turn off plane, but we're good. Alright, sorry folks. I'm finally back. But, you know, I wanted to do a bit of an extended test there just to make sure. I didn't want to just go for a couple minutes and say, oh, everything's fine. I really wanted to make sure it wasn't something that was occurring in solo. And I appreciate that, Graham. I very much do. And yep, exactly, CJ's. I mean, it's the same sim, so no doubt. I watch it all, Cow. I enjoy the content no matter what platform you're playing on. The PC stuff shows us what will hopefully come to PS5. Absolutely. And it should. I mean, because anything that we've shown pretty much is PC and Xbox, which means it'll be on PlayStation as well. Absolutely. Any news about VR? Other than just springtime with Sim Update 5 is when VR should be coming over with PSVR 2. Any tips for smooth landings? It's all about getting that speed under control. Start with a Cessna 172, get used to that, and then you can work your way up to other aircraft. And the biggest thing is let the plane drop on its own. Just lift the nose up a little bit. Let that airspeed drop naturally, and your plane will slowly drop naturally as well. Don't force the plane down to the ground, or else that is where you're going to run into the lovely, bouncy landings. It's all about flaring the aircraft a little bit, having that nose pitched up just a little bit, and you're good to go. Extra peanuts for Cowtown. I appreciate it, James. And appreciate it, Russell. Glad you enjoy the content no matter where it is. I appreciate it. I haven't really gotten into flying jets yet. Are the approaches to landings similar with turboprops? When I have flown the turboprop, I struggle mightily with landing and end up falling out of the sky. And turboprops are just different in general just because of how much power they have at such a short amount of time. So it's just all about getting the power down, and once you get that situated, you'll be good. But it's the same principle. Again, once you're at the airport, you want that nose to be pitched up a little bit, and then let the plane drop. That goes for pretty much everything. Because if you're forcing the nose down, you're going to have a lot of issues, and of course you don't want to go too slow. So just pick a long runway, an airport with a long runway, clear conditions, just do touch and goes, get used to it. That's what I would recommend. That way you'll kind of hit a nice balance of where you want your speed to be at. Because obviously each plane's going to be a little different depending on what you're flying, from the PC-12 to the TBM, the Cessna Sky Courier, things like that. Oh, you're talking about the C-17 speed tape, how it goes from... it's backwards? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure why it is that way. I'm sure there's a specific reason as to why it's set up that way for a C-17. I don't know if it's similar to the C-130 or the C-5. But yeah, I could not give you a definitive answer as to why it's like that. I always try to land the plane on its own, but last minute I get too anxious and come down too hard. We'll get it though. One day, practice makes perfect, yes. Don't be worried, especially if you're just barely off the ground and the stall warning pops up, don't be too worried about it. Because you'll still have enough airspeed, because that is a wide range before it fully would drop out of the sky. The biggest areas to test with, or practice with, is the Piper and the Cessna 172. Those are two great ones, because once you get that down, you'll get to a point where it'll feel a lot more familiar, even though you go to bigger aircraft, like the private jets, or the Sky Courier thing, Grand Caravan. You'll kind of get a familiarity with it, which is nice. Very nice, Moist. Hopefully you're enjoying the Thrustmaster. Appreciate it, Monorific. I don't find the hold height, so altitude hold mode will be... I'm trying to remember the Airbus stuff here. I'll have to look at it from inside the cockpit. And ICJs? No, there is no C5, surprisingly. Not yet, at least. As a newbie, I found that adjusting the sensitivity settings on the PS5 controller really helps, especially when getting the chopper license. Very nice. A very nice top. What is the Piper? It's the only one in the sim. The Dakota, if I'm not mistaken. The Commodore 64 was one of the first computers that I used since my parents had one, and remember using it to play games on it in the early 90s. Activision's River Raid game was my first flying game. Very nice, Herminator. Very nice. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just... maybe they just felt like doing something a bit different for this aircraft. Like, you know what? We do this for everything else. Let's just flip it around. Because, yeah, I mean, you get the same concept if it's flipped the other way, too. And nice, Aaron, and hello, Becky. And see, you got the audio issues now. But yep, I'm pretty sure it's tied to multiplayer. So as much as I'd love to fly this some more, I'm not going to listen to that the whole time, so let me switch out of it. Unfortunately. But I'm not going to listen to that the whole time. Was it the A320? What was being asked? Yes. We'll just plop over to this really quick so I can show you the altitude stuff. Typing C64 games out of a book was fun back then. Nice. The first thing I played on was Oh, it was a PC. It was Wolfenstein 3D. Yeah. Alright, let me... Oh my goodness, this thing is wanting to freak out. It's alright, we'll get this all situated. I know, Autopilot disconnected, thank you. I don't know what we're doing, actually. Why are we... I don't have any... Hello? Gonna go back down here? Alright. So... Let me reset my gyroscope here. Oh, we're at 15,000 feet. I want to go down to 13,000 feet. Set up our heading to be where we're looking at. Oh, crap. Hang on. Gotta shut the plane down and then restart it again. Because anytime you disconnect Autopilot and want to re-enter it, it doesn't do that at all. Give me a moment, and we'll get back to the Autopilot. And while we're doing this, by the way, if you want to add passengers again, you go to the aircraft, flight performances, mass and balance, seats, I always do quick fill, load aircraft, let the menu pop up with load immediately. Oh, I didn't even have to do that. Okay. Really? That's the first time I've ever seen it not pop up with that. And there they are. Alright, engines are back. Well, now let's go to 15,000 here. I'm just trying to make it to where we... Oh, no, didn't mean to hit that knob. Hang on. Heading there. Let's get our speed up to about 232 knots. That's fine. AP1 engaged. And now what we'll do is we'll click X on the altitude selector, and then from there we will set selected with square. And what that does, as you can see, we now have OP climb here. So the plane is now going to climb to 15,000 feet. We can of course adjust how fast that's going to happen by switching the vertical speed over to... Oops, I meant to do that. We'll do 1,000 feet. And so now you can see that the aircraft is going to climb 1,000 feet per minute. And once we reach 15,000 feet, it'll level off and immediately go into an altitude hold mode. We also get our speed set up here. Again, clicking X and then square on that. Could always do this as well. Oh, that's... hang on. Was there... I don't need 165 knots. Hang on. Oop, not 358. Make sure we're in the auto throttle range here as well. I'm going to bring this all the way up to climb. And now select... there we go. Maybe. Why doesn't it want to... hang on. Because I see it going to 250 there. Do I? Oh! Would help if I turn that on. Apologies, there we go. Speed will pop up on here, and now it'll get to 250. You can see now we're almost into an altitude hold mode. It's going to climb up just a little bit more to get to 15,000 feet. The nose is dropping. You can see our vertical speed is going back to level. Altitude hold mode has automatically engaged. And that's it. That is autopilot in the A320. It's been a bit since I've been really focused on the landing challenges and career mode. Or not landing challenges. Challenge League is where I've been spending most of my time. Does multiplayer work cross-platform? No, it does not. Are there a lot of... What is the rate? Hang on, what is the... Oh, I'm not gonna... But are there a lot of... I don't know. A lot of the times the reviews on marketplaces, Xbox Store and all that, is filled with a lot of nonsense reviews, just like anything else in the world. From restaurants and everything, people give 1-star reviews for the dumbest reasons. I normally do high-speed, low ground runs with an F-18 like a War Thunder player. Oh, very nice. Nothing wrong with that. I used to play the Microprose Milsims on the Omega. It's a great name. I like that. I remember Wolfenstein 3D as well. Nice. Love that game. Rumors are they're making a new Wolfenstein, which I'm excited about. As a Circuit City store manager in Nashville in the 80s, we sold the first C64s and Atari consoles. Yep, I'm an old guy. Oh, I mean, hey, I loved Circuit City. Well, that's very cool. What was the excitement like for that? Because obviously that was the new type of, just, you know, that was the entry to gaming console type stuff going on. So I'm sure there was a lot of excitement. AP2, if I'm not mistaken, is used for, if I'm, again, not 100% sure on this, but I think this is all about approach and landings for Autopilot 2. I typically only use AP1. Really like flying with a gyroscope, but the problem is that it seems to drift left or right. See, I've never run into that personally. And I've flown with just gyroscope for hours, especially with helicopters, but I've also done with planes, and I've not seen that happening. Obviously, if you're dealing with wind, you're going to have to kind of correct it a bit. You know, push in some left to keep it straight heading. So if you're dealing with a lot of crosswind and stuff, you will have to be correcting that, of course. And nice CJs, very nice. Can't wait for the sim to come out to PSVR. I bet it will be a lot easier to operate the controls too. I'm very excited to see how it's going to be, for sure. I can see everyone on the EFB, but everyone just disappeared when looking outside. Probably requiring a restart, maybe? Because, yeah. Oh, you're back? Okay, perfect, FMJ. Duke Nukem, yeah. I only played like the first couple missions of that. That's all I remember from that game. The city area and all that. Will I be covering GTA 6? I mean, yeah, I'll be playing the crap out of it. I mean, I still play GTA Online to this day now, but yep. I'd like to make some content over it here and there, for sure. Respect, we are... The closest airport is MRSO, Mike Romeo Sierra Oscar. And then if you're set to US East and all players in flight conditions, you should see a big green clump of planes. Desert Strike, Jungle Strike, and Urban Strike. Was that Delta? No. Wait a minute, is that... My favorite military shooter game? I don't know how many of you will know this, but it's Joint Operations. It was so fun in multiplayer because I had vehicles, planes, helicopters, and maybe it was, did they have planes? Maybe it was just helicopters. Either way, that was, it still is my favorite game. It was made by Nova Logic. It was Joint Operations, Combined Arms, and Typhoon Rising and all that. But the multiplayer in that was awesome. I loved it. And it was always really packed servers too. Loved that game. That and Frontlines Fuel of War are two of my favorite. Those are better than Battlefield to me. I loved those two games. I wish Frontlines would have been able to continue. Then THQ went bankrupt, and then Chaos Studios went under with that. We had Homefront, but, man. Frontlines, Fuel of War, and Joint Operations, those were two fantastic games that I very much miss. I kept trying to join your stream a week ago, but kept crashing my plane. Not until after I released, I was in gyroscope mode. Oh. Gotcha. And hello, Mrs. Hello, hello. Do I use SimBrief? I do not. Soldier of Fortune. That game sounds familiar. Hang on, let me look at the cover art. Or pictures. I might have played it. Maybe I didn't play it. Because it's not looking too familiar. The name's definitely familiar, though. Maybe I got it on 360. Because it sounds very, very familiar. I must have played it at some point. What's my oldest flight sim that I had? I started with Centuries of Flight. That was my first flight sim. I play a lot of career mode. I just don't do it on streams. Because to me, one flight that's 3-4 hours long and one plane at 40,000 feet is the most boring content possible. It's boring for me. I feel like it would be boring for viewers. That's why career mode is pre-recorded content only. And we'll be back into that once heavy and super heavy cargo arrives. But yeah, that's why I don't really... The only time I'm doing career mode in a stream is if it's firefighting, or not even firefighting, search and rescue, stuff like that. But long flights in one plane is highly boring to me. But anyways, hopefully the autopilot stuff helped out. I know I mentioned that like 20 minutes later, but... do you think they will make communicating to ATC voice activated for the PS5 instead of using... Probably not at the top of their list. I know this year we should be seeing improvements to ATC in general. To what extent that will be, we don't know just yet, but... Regardless, we'll have ATC improvements in general. My favorite Microprose game was the Apache one. They've made quite a comeback. They're making all kinds of different stuff now, which is pretty interesting. Oh no, FMJ. Good old Star Fox. Goodness. Oh man, I never had the RC thing. I was just controlling, but yeah, I played Real Flight, the RC stuff, a long time ago. Haven't ever touched it again since, but I do remember that. But yeah, they have a B-17, if I'm not mistaken, for Flight Sim, which is pretty cool. And Sean, hi Cowtown, I used to play Hellcats on a MacBook in the in a Mac in the 90s. I was about to say, I don't think MacBook was there, but that was my fault for saying that. But nice, Sean, very nice. And as usual, I appreciate everybody stopping on by to fly with us in the sim or just to chat with us in the chat. Hopefully you're having a great Wednesday and enjoying the stream so far. Because we got Simon, Castaway, Fraziz. I know we saw New York earlier. We got Yeet and Paul. Who else we got going on around here? We got Lincoln. Oh, we got Abe Lincoln. Welcome back. Glad you got into Flight Sim, Lincoln. We got Chun and Marco. Oh, there's New York, and there's Jaden as well, and the Gearhead for life behind the clouds over there. Thanks for joining, everybody. Oh, and there's FMJ. Oh, there's somebody else behind FMJ over there as well. Oh, it's Jed. Very nice. But see how the F-18 got close to us? And then everything started falling apart? I just think the F-18 is the biggest culprit to multiplayer nonsense. But that's alright, at least it's not messing up our audio, so... Oh, and Volvo's here as well. In a T-38? Oh no, what is the plane doing? What is this? Are you okay? Or is the F-18 just slamming into our wing? Maybe that is. Lincoln, this is unbelievable. Oh, by the way, that looks fantastic. Hang on, let's pop back here. Yeah, I'm gonna chalk up the F-18 to be the biggest culprit to multiplayer issues. Because once that's next to you, things just really react weirdly. But I'll do more with the C-17 just on my own, see if I run into any issues. But so far, based off of our solo travels, everything was perfectly fine with that. Grimro could use an AI update. I mean, honestly, I don't do the flight seeing, because I don't do flight seeing. What's the other one? First flights. I mean, honestly, I I only do VIP and cargo. Because with VIP, there is no audio dialogue. You know, they're not on the phone or anything like that, which is so nice. They could, honestly, they could really remove it. It doesn't add anything to the experience. At least I don't think. Because there's two ways of going about it. Make it to where there's a lot more dialogue that can happen, or just get rid of it completely. It's just, I've never found that it adds anything to the experience of going through a mission, especially hearing the, Mom, I'm 32 years old. What did I have for breakfast? You know, I have heard that so many times now, and I don't want to hear it anymore. But if you don't want to get rid of it, just let it to be a separate audio setting to disable dialogue, but keep ATC communications going, is the way I look at it. I used to play Terminal Velocity on the Mac back in the day. Nice, FMJ. I could never get into RCs in real life because I would just be... Anytime I flew it, I would worry I would just crash the thing. So I could never get into it because, you know, you see those videos of people with these giant RC planes that cost so much money. I could never imagine flying that. Because the whole time I'd be like, don't crash, don't crash, don't... That's all I would think about. Oh, man. It's a cool hobby, though, but not one I could ever get into personally. Just joined the stream from South Africa. Happy to have you here, Sir K. Welcome. Have a cigar ready for you at Termin in Panama. Oh, well, thank you, James. I don't smoke, but I'll have a nice glass of water to celebrate the landing. Oh god, I hate those lines too, especially that one voice where she's talking like this, you know, we'll have to check the log, you know, we'll have to look back and see what you can improve on, you know, I hate that voice. Get out of here with that crap. Oh man. Next sim update is supposed to have stability improvements and bug fixes. That's any sim update. Every sim update is going to be including improvements to that stuff for sure. My engines have cut out. Oh, good, Simon. That's great. We did the C-17 for about the first hour and a half. The C-17 just breaks with multiplayer players around, specifically if it's a fighter jet. It just glitches out the audio. Because this would have been a full flight with a C-17, but I wasn't going to listen to the audio pops because of multiplayer. Because we did a pretty lengthy test solo. Audio was perfectly fine with it. But we're in the A320 for a little bit here. And I'm going to go ahead and turn to the left just a little bit. Probably go for about 115 degrees? Maybe a little bit more, actually. Yeah, 100 degrees should be perfect. That way we go over the water a little bit. Oh, don't know why it does that. What is that? I'm telling you, it's at F-18. Anytime that's near me, things go weird. But I'm glad it's near me, because now we can see how it affects other aircraft as well. Yes, Paul. That's why I love the charter flights, because they don't talk the whole flight. The only talking that happens is me with ATC, which that doesn't happen much anyways, because they say, you know, tune to this frequency. I don't do it. Just have it all empty for the whole flight. You don't get deducted any points. And me telling them we're at cruise altitude or starting our descent, and that's pretty much it. So much nicer. Because again, it doesn't add anything to the experience. Hi friend, I'll catch this after work. Keep up the great work. I appreciate it, Diecast. Thank you for another $1.99. Very much appreciate it. Glad you continue to enjoy the content. Hopefully the rest of your shift goes by nice and quick. Gotcha. I was assuming it was rough landings, but I just wanted to, you know, clarify there. I was watching your MD-11 video yesterday, laughing so much with the guy that kept asking about the C-17. Yep. I had to block somebody else earlier today as well because I don't play on PC anymore, apparently. Oh my. Yep. See? I'm telling you, the F-18, folks, it's the reason why it causes a lot of multiplayer issues regarding audio or just anything else. I look forward to flying with you when I progress enough to get all the certs. As a newbie, so far it's been a blast. Top, you do not need to be experienced to fly with us. If you want to just fly with whatever you're comfortable with or whatever, you can hop on in and fly along. There is no requirements to fly a specific plane or have a certain level of expertise in flying. We don't do any of that here. It's just if you want to hop on in, you can absolutely do so. For the variety of aircraft you fly in the game, like especially in career mode, are they different licenses you have to earn to fly them? Yes. So, you start off with your private pilot's license, then you get to your commercial pilot license. You have to work through a turbine rating, twin engine rating, jet engine rating, all that type of stuff. And as you make your way through those certifications, you unlock more and more different aircraft that you can utilize in career mode. Absolutely. Hi from Norway. Where are you flying now, Mats? We are heading to Panama. And specifically, we are flying over... I always get my Central American countries jumbled up here. Because we're almost to Panama, but we're currently flying over Costa Rica. Actually, no, we're already in Panama. Because we're flying over Boca del Toro, or Bocas del Toro. These little island chains below us. But the closest airport to us is... oh, it's actually below us. Mike Papa Bravo Oscar, MPBO. Nice, Top. Yep, we're on US East servers, and under flight conditions in the free flight menu, we're set to all players. Every time I hear you say Panama, I think of the old Van Halen song. I was gonna try it. Nope, not gonna happen. Never mind. Okay, cool. Nice to know when I get the game later this year. Nice, Dev. Very nice. I love the sim. Absolutely love it. The other side of it too is I very much enjoy helping everybody out with the sim as well. You know, it's such a blast. It's always fun flying with everybody here as well. Just always appreciate everybody showing up, and again, hopefully you're having a blast, both in the sim and watching the stream. But I also don't want to be annoyed on stream. You know me, I'm typically not. Because, again, it has nothing to do with answering questions or anything. But when people like that show up, especially with the C-17 earlier this week, and then today with not playing on any other platforms, like, it gets to a point where it says, I had enough. You know, it's just, I don't know what else to do. It's always a nice mix, but hopefully we're done with that. Hopefully 2 times in 1 week will be enough of all of that nonsense. And all that will be done. We know you're a trained actor, singer, and C-17 Pro. I mean, you know, of course. You taught me a ton. Gotta run. All right, see you later, Top Load. Thanks for stopping on by. Enjoy the rest of your day, afternoon, or evening. And Christoph, good evening. Thanks for the great entertainment whilst I'm flying long-haul VIP with the Longitude. Nice. That'll be a great payout mission then. Yeah, the VIP flights and medium cargo are my favorite ones. I'm almost up to 60 million credits in career now. I think I might work my way up to the A320 or 737. I might also just save the money for heavy cargo. I really don't know what I want to do just next. So I might just stick to my CJ4 and PC24. And yeah, it's still up in the air what I want to do next. Back to the autopilot again, by the way. I want to just drop our altitude a little bit. I'm going to go down to 10,000 feet. See if we can't be below the clouds. Enjoy the water a little bit. So I set the altitude to 10,000 feet. While selected on here, so you'll see this menu, we'll hit square. And you'll notice that, especially with auto throttle, the plane will manage the speed. So you can see it's already, well, you won't see it there, but you can see our power lever is going down to idle due to us descending. And what'll end up happening is the plane is going to get to 10,000 feet and it'll go back into an altitude hold mode there. So that is how you adjust your altitude. It's as easy as that in the Airbuses. And the other thing too, if you're wanting the aircraft to follow a flight plan, you'll hit X here, and then you will hit square, and that'll get rid of the numbers. It'll be 3 dashed lines on a circle, and that'll go into the navigation mode, in case you didn't know that. Obviously I can't really show it because we don't have a flight plan, but we did it in the stream we did a couple weeks ago over Autopilot, but just thought I'd mention it here again. I'll be back home by 4 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully you will still be flying when I get on. No, definitely not. Because once we get to Panama, that'll be the end of the stream for today. But hopefully you'll be able to make a flight in the future, Christian. Yep, Paul. They used to be more, which is why I think a lot of people were confused as to why the price point went down for the Longitude and the CJ4. It's because they lowered the payouts. Because before, a CJ4 and Longitude flight would pay out 15, 20 million. Those days apparently are gone now. But that's okay. At least there's a lot cheaper of an entry price to get into those aircraft. I think that's a better takeaway from it as opposed to needing 30 million credits in order to get a CJ4 or the Longitude and stuff. You getting money on it? Yep, absolutely, Monorific. because anytime I'm about to head out, I get a flight set up and get it to autopilot. Once that's all situated, I leave. And then when I get back home, I finish up the flight. Is typically how I get that all situated. Hey Mark, what's going on? Not too much, just we spent the first bit of the stream in the C-17 just seeing what's going on. I still feel like we've figured out what's going on with the audio. It's multiplayer causing the issues. Because so far in our solo, no multiplayer gameplay, the C-17's fine. And we've also discovered that the F-18 wreaks havoc in multiplayer when it gets really close. It's just, for whatever reason, doesn't... The F-18 causes some mayhem on a lot of different aircraft. And Gordon, hello, hello, welcome. And Roll Tide in career mode. I'm close to being able to do charter VIP and medium cargo missions, which is best to progress my career the fastest. I mean, medium cargo, I mean, if you can get to like the PC-24, the PC-12, those are great options. But obviously your first option is going to be the Grand Caravan. So it's really just up to you. Either way you go, you'll be making great money per mission. Can't wait to get to that level in this game. Nice, Monorific. Hopefully you're not too far away from it. We are almost there, folks. Set a heading of 120. Because if I'm not mistaken, there should be a runway that goes over the water. Or the approach. Yeah, we're going to head that way. And then pop in here. That's a cool terminal. What kind of UAV is that? Nice. I'm assuming that's their old one. A little bit of a difference between the old and the new. It looks like they use both, though. This is probably more for the bigger behemoths, for the most part. Still putting around in GA aircraft. I mean, that's perfect, too, random. Nothing wrong with that at all. Fly and have fun with career. Don't forget the short fun stuff. Currently level 565, 112 aircraft in my fleet, and 1.3 billion credits in my account waiting for heavy cargo and the big jets. Nice, rough landings. Very nice. Is there a way to get Copilot to talk to ATC emissions? No. Unfortunately, that's only in free flight, where you can have the AI Copilot do the ATC transmissions for you. What I do is whenever they say, oh, you know, blah, 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 transition to whatever tower. Instead of hitting left on the D-pad, I didn't mean to hit weather here. Instead of hitting left on the D-pad, go here and then hit confirm change of rate, whatever it says. I forgot what it says. But you hit that from here. Don't change that new frequency. And just leave it alone until you want to talk to them once you're close to the airport to descend or anything like that. Then you just hit this with the tune to whatever center. That way you don't take any hits, so if you're not going to be around, you won't miss any ATC transmissions, you don't get deducted any points. It's what I do personally to just not deal with that. Because I'm not going to sit here for 4 hours to make sure I don't miss any ATC transmissions. That just is not happening. Yep, High Performance Group got dumped from the development of the H225, so it's a new developer. They already worked on some of the changes that happened in that new first update after a year. So I'm sure the next update will focus a lot more on Autopilot. We still don't know who took over, but we do know it's not Hype Performance Group anymore on the H225, as they have been dumped. And perfect. Hey, Cow, will Phoenix put their Airbus when the marketplace... I don't think Phoenix... Is Phoenix on the marketplace at all? I'll need to double check that really quick. I don't know. I think they might be one of the airline developers that aren't in the marketplace. I will double check for you though here. And Matt's, enjoy your content, trying to join you guys, just been flying a little. No, you have been explaining before, but could you say now what to do? To join, so in settings, you go to online, make sure you're set to US East. And then in the free flight menu, you want to make sure flight conditions are set to all players. And that's it. And then you'll find us to the west of Panama. But yeah, let me double check, because I don't think Phoenix is in the marketplace. I think they're only on third-party sites. I could be wrong on that. Again, I don't focus too much on airliners. The only reason we're in an airliner currently is due to the fact that somebody was wanting to know how Autopilot works, so. But we'll just stick with it for the rest of this, since it's a short little hop. Yeah, Dustin, I haven't either. I don't think they're on PC either, but I'm gonna find out here in the next few seconds here. Because it could be on PC, just not on console. But I don't want to speculate. I want to make sure I give you a definitive answer as to what's going on with Phoenix. Because it's all up to the developer, the third-party dev, if they want to bring it to the marketplace. Not all of them do. A lot of them are going to be PC only, just like Fly-by-Wire's A380 and things like that. But yeah, the MD-11 will be on the marketplace because it's going to be on the Xbox here in a few weeks. And then, of course, that means it'll eventually be on the PlayStation as well with career support, which is awesome. Cowtown, I'm playing on PS5 and can't find the cabin lights. Can you please help me find it? In the A320? Because they should be up top. Either top or middle pedestal. Yeah, you got the dome light here, which that'll help you out and get some lighting going. The overhead integrated lights, which should be those guys. And then down here is the other lighting stuff. So you got the floodlights for the panel, and then integrated lights for the main panel and pedestal. So 2 are right by the pilot seat, and then a few are up here in the center console with your other lighting as well. Let me take a little gander and see if Phoenix is on here. No, they are not. So they're not on PC Marketplace. So to answer your question, they will not be on console at the moment, no. Hello from Iceland! Hello! Welcome! Christ. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Oh, you want cabin lights for them. That... Oh, that should be up here too then, isn't it? I always leave them in the dark when I'm flying, so I don't really know where that's at. Because, I mean, typically that's not a pilot's control, is it? Isn't that normally the flight attendants doing all the lighting? Toilet? I didn't realize there was a toilet button. We got the reading lights. Is it just in the... I don't think it's in here. Oh, God, I don't know why I keep... Anyways, here, it is in the tablet. Oh. There we go. I keep forgetting any builds is in the tablet here. We did this in the past, and... But yeah, it's right there. So, underground. And then you got the cabin lights there. Got really confused. I think that's another plane. I was like, what am I hearing? They still need to fix the A320's beacon light. It's phasing through the body of the aircraft, which shouldn't be doing that. But here, let me show you the difference here. So with no cabin lights, now you can really see the beacon light I'm talking about. You shouldn't be seeing that. And let's go full blast. And there we go. So that goes for any of the AnyBuilds Airbuses. It'll be in that tablet for you. But you are very welcome. All right, moving my heading over to 110 degrees. Oh, shoot, I went too far. Hang on. No, maybe we do want to go back to 100. We're also going to go ahead and bring our altitude down to 8,000 feet. It's really nice getting the hang of the Airbus autopilot system. Because it was definitely one thing, because I always flew the 737 mainly, just because that was the only airliner in career for a year. But of course, kind of doing the stuff with free flight, helping people out, and just learning it alongside of you, we're pretty proficient in most of the autopilot systems now. Which is awesome. When can we know you're on? Do you set up a notice? I looked earlier, now I'm late. I bet I gotta be a member. No, definitely not. You do not have to be a member. There's no, like, early notification to members only. Nope, I typically stream around the same time every day. If I'm not live during this time frame, there probably will not be a stream that day. Just like tomorrow, there probably won't be. It'll be another Marketplace update video. I'm hoping to get another just general flight sim update video going here short. Oh my. Okay. Is that supposed to be like an extra or something? What is that? I know that wasn't an A10. I'll reload here. What are you flying? It is an A10. What in the world happened with that? Alright. Get a nice view of everybody flying along with us here. Oh, and Blonde Knights. Hello. Hiding up there. New York still with us. What is New York flying? Oh, PC-24. Very nice. And Cloaked. Welcome as well. Still cool seeing new names popping on in. Oh, I didn't realize that was not my showcase camera. And very nice missile. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing if they can improve it, because it definitely needs improvements. it's still nice having a flight tracker that works on console. So I'm excited to see what they do. You know, to be completely honest with you, I don't know if there is... We can check it out, though. We have passengers. I don't know if they'll deboard when we connect the jetway. But that's a good question. I'm not sure if that's a thing in the sim or not. But I will be able to answer that to you, or answer that for you, not to you, when we're on the ground. As a matter of fact... Yeah, we'll talk to ATC when we get there. Hopefully I have the audio set up right. If not, it's all good. But yeah, we'll talk to Tower. That way we can get a parking spot and see if connecting the jetway deboards the aircraft or not. Yeah, the UI, because they need to get rid of the keyboard that's in the tracker and just make it to where you use the virtual keyboard on Xbox and PlayStation to utilize it, because that whole keyboard is not great. And then, of course, the other things that I was talking about that need to be tweaked as well. I mean, that works too, Paul. That does work. Alright, Fabian, thanks for joining. And for the lovely A10 circus. Where is free flight? Free flight is just a thing on the main menu. It's the option there, and then... Or you're just talking about the server stuff? That's under settings. So go to settings, online... and then you'll see server from there. Let me make sure. Yep, speed brakes are armed. Brakes are, I think, set to max already. Perfect. We'll max it all out. We're pretty much good to go for landing then. Excellent. Gonna bank to the left just a tad. Bring our altitude down to 7,000 feet. Having lots of fun flying Blonde Knights. Oh, very nice. TX? TX Ores. But very nice. Happy to have you here flying with us and in the chat. Oh, we got Cuds. Cuds here as well. Nice. Oh. And Elric. Nice. Carefree Knife is back. Remember that name from Albuquerque? And of course Marco here as well. Very cool. Is it really windy? Why are we swaying around so much? It's showing only like 10 knots. Or no, 20 knots. Never mind. And it's Spirit Airlines. Oh, gotcha, Mats. Cold, sweaty palm. Gotcha. Okay. Well, glad you made it on in. Welcome. I mean, we are waddling across the sky out here. Almost went Canadian there. Oh. I had to fly a Saudi around on one of my flight seeing. Thought he was... Okay. I'm not gonna finish. Anyways... Oh! Again, like I said in the beginning of the stream, I made tweaks to the ads again because I was getting quite a few of the comments saying there were tons of them. Is it better? Does it feel the same? Because I'm not really sure what else to do, because now it's as low as it can possibly go, so... Because I haven't seen anybody say anything, so... Hello everybody, this is your captain. Don't mind me stepping out of the cockpit to address you here. I know we're almost about to land, but I thought it was important to let you guys know we're about to make our way into Panama here, and it should be a fantastic landing. I am an expert flyer at the A320, so, you know, a few hours of flying time. This is my only flying time. Which, yes, you guessed it, this is my first landing in the A320. So, we'll see how the landing goes. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, you know. Enjoy the complimentary half peanuts. And we'll see what happens when we're on the ground. Alright? Fantastic. You know, you always want to give a lot of confidence to the passengers, of course. So... Alright, disengage autopilot. Disengage auto throttle. Confirm the disconnect so we don't hear the beeping all the time. Who's flying the plane? Nobody. Is it better, Steven? Alright, perfect, because this is the lowest possible settings I can have it set to. When I had you on the TV for a while over dinner, the only ads I saw were at the beginning. On PC, I don't see any ads. Ah, I see, Paul. Do you know what OAT and altimeter means for takeoff performance? OAT is... I forgot. Hang on. Something... Outside air temperature. Goodness gracious. So yeah, that's outside air temperature. And then... Altimeter, you said? That has something to do with the frequencies, right? Or no, just the... I don't remember. I don't go that deep into the thing, so... Oh, man. Speaking of which, yes, thanks for bringing that up. Panama. Where are we heading again? Something T. Right there. Hang on, I got it going through the speaker here.
Charlie Oscar Whiskey Tango Whiskey November is 1 tree mile southwest, 7,200 with India to land.
Are we actually that close already? Oh crap!
Airbus Charlie Oscar Whiskey Tango
That's not
Whiskey
good.
November, Document Tower. QNH 1007. Make straight in runway tree right.
Yeah, we're not making this landing. I'm too busy talking and not paying attention.
Make straight in runway tree right. Airbus Tango Whiskey November.
Oh, I think it's the other way anyways. Oh no. Yep, I'm gonna have to circle around here. And this is what happens when you're too busy talking. US West no longer exists. North European server is also gone. Those both have been retired. So anything you see from me will now be on the US East server. Yep, Autopilot will be in the middle just like it is here. Over in this section is where Autopilot will be available for you. And then AP1 should be over in the right side, kind of where the 1013 is. Not a Saab 340. Nice. Oh, right, that's barometer. Okay, yeah, barometric. Oh, I love the things I forget. We got here fast. Like, I thought we were pretty far away still. Wasted no time getting over here. Oh, it's Mr. McQueen. You know, I just realized I think I might have turned off the boats, didn't I? 'Cause I don't even see a boat. I'll have to look at my settings, because I think I turned something off at one point. And Jesse, yeah, you're over... I saw your name a few times. I don't know where you went. I don't know if you left now, but... Because I think what happened... What are those towers? What was that? Oh. I thought that was water over there, but that makes sense. But yeah, so the reason you're not seeing us is because in Free Flight's menu, you'll see in the top right there's a button called Flight Conditions. Hit triangle and get to that. You want to make sure your multiplayer is set to all players. That was probably why you weren't seeing us specifically. But we did see you. I've been doing cargo missions out of Telluride, Colorado lately. Super nice place to land. Thought I'd mention it. Absolutely. I'm in Telluride a lot of times. Need to make a drive over there and see it in person. Ooh. I'm a bit worried about them retiring those other servers because it seems multiplayer is a bit more chaotic than it was previously. We still don't know why they retired those servers. Be nice to get some clarification as to, oh, there you are. Yeah, there you are again. I see a gearhead. You're at the airport. Hey, nice. Glad you made it. Once you get to the airliners, you're making a lot of money, but you're also doing a lot of money in maintenance and stuff like that, so... But you're up in the multi-million-dollar payouts for sure. And nice monorific. So what I have set is slew mode. I have it set to square and left on the D-pad. So I use that specifically for those moments, because if you're in an airliner or something, they'll spawn you way up. But I toggle that, and then you can move the plane wherever you want. I'll show what I mean when I'm on the ground here.
Document Tower, Copa Tree 69er, 19er miles southwest. Inbound visual runway tree right approach.
Copa Tree 69er, Document Tower. QNH 1007, cleared visual runway tree right approach. Airbus Tango Whiskey November, wind 246 at tree, cleared to land runway tree right.
Cleared to land, runway 3 right, thank you.
Clear to land runway tree right. Airbus Tango, Whiskey November.
Am I on right or am I on the other one? Oh, I'm on right, we're good. All is well.
Cleared visual runway tree right approach. Copa Tree 69er.
Everything else is already armed, so our speed brakes will deploy once we touch down. Probably get another set of flaps in here. Gears are down, all green. Oh, nice Albatross Volvo. Cloaked Raven just flying into the runway. Interesting approach. You really want more flaps? Goodness gracious. I typically don't like going full flaps, but I'll do it so I don't have to hear too low flaps the whole time.
20. Retard. 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 Retard.
Oh, Volvo is glitching out over here.
Retard. Retard.
Airbus Tango Whiskey November, exit runway enabled. Copa Tree 69er, follow the aircraft
But see, now you can kind of use that example of what I was talking about, the C-17, and how multiplayer models can really just interfere with the multiplayer stuff. I still feel like them removing 2 servers has kind of caused that.
121.9er, Airbus Tango, Whiskey November.
And Herminator, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome.
Document ground, Airbus Charlie Oscar Whiskey Tango, Whiskey November, taxi to parking. Airbus Charlie Oscar Whiskey Tango, Whiskey November.
I don't want I want gate.
Aviation parking using taxiway.
Because I think the only way to get it working is if you get a gate. I'll park at one, see if I can get ground services to connect to Jetway, but... Oh, that makes it so much more fun, though, Roll Tide. You have that chaos going on. Oh no, James! The only thing I can recommend is make sure multiplayer's on. Make sure in flight conditions you're not set to off. Because sometimes if you toggle multiplayer off, it'll go into the group will shut off multiplayer. So... just some things to check out, and then of course flight conditions, all players. Oh, no, not pause, what am I doing? Yeah, I can just request porting start, but...
Airbus Charlie Oscar Whiskey Tango, Whiskey November. Could you please get the passengers on board?
Because I don't know if that'll deboard them or not, probably won't. Jetway's not even moving towards us. There we go. It might have been because I was moving. See if it deplanes them or not. Oh, what the heck is this? When did... I don't remember this livery ever. That looks excellent. What in the world? Because I know we had the Boeing business jet one. Maybe I just never saw it because of career mode not letting us pick other ones. That looks excellent. Anybody leaving? No. I just don't think there's a way to deplane the aircraft, unfortunately. At least not currently. I tried. Very nice, but that is a great livery. Holy crap, man. But hello, everybody. Way to pack the airport. This is awesome. C-17s, A400s, A10s, Longitudes, Saab's DC-3. Very good, everybody. Memphis, we're about to wrap up, but I'll showcase what settings you want for future flights. Yes, I've been to the sand dunes. It is awesome. Can you show how to load the passenger? I mean, it's the same process. But here, before... Thanks to everybody for flying with me. Hope you guys enjoyed that little flight over to Panama. I know I did. That was awesome. Again, just amazing to see so many of you fly with me. It's always awesome. So again, hopefully it was a enjoyable experience for you. And until next time. But here, let me showcase this really quick. But yeah, sorry Charlotte, we're about to wrap up for today. So again, regarding your flight, yeah, let me just start over really quick. I'll do it in a... By the way, let me look at this really quick. Hang on. That livery is awesome. Because that one was there. Yeah, they added that. That must have been part of... Because they have this one with a white tail. Black Lotus Company. Ooh. And then the one we just saw. Nice. Good thing we can't use it in career mode because we still can't pick a thing. A livery. Oh no, that's awesome. Anyways, we're going to go passengers really quick. Not worried about the livery. Aeromexico's fine. And we'll open up the EFB. Go to aircraft. Same thing. We'll have the seats set up to about, let's do 64%. Save configuration. Perfect. So now what we'll do is go to a... Okay, this is not a good airport to pick here. Hey, it's where we started. Pick a gate. Spawn in. Always great watching your streams. Enjoy the rest of your evening. To absolutely, Dev. I'm glad you enjoyed it, FMJ. I mean, probably the only way to get rid of them is by just sliding the quick fill to 0. But there's no way to actually have an animation of them leaving the aircraft like they do when they enter it. Just gonna boot this up really quick. Go into communication, ground services, request passenger boarding start.
Ground, Boeing Mike Oscar 58. Could you please get the passengers on board?
Boeing Mike Oscar 58. The jetway is
This is
going
a
to be
poor
connected.
example because this jetway has no windows, but because they shouldn't be in here just yet. I couldn't tell anyways because this is a plan. I picked poorly on all this, but Boeing Moo? I don't think... Did I set that up? I don't remember having Moo before. It's the first time I've seen them say that. Oh, they're already just all in here anyways. I think they do that when there's no windows, so you're not going to have any animation because you wouldn't see it anyways. But if you do those steps and you're at a jetway with the windows that we were seeing, you'd see them walking down the jetway into your aircraft. And of course from this you can have the baggage service going, catering, and all that. Oh, and yes, I will showcase that as well. So this, in future flights, these are the settings that you're wanting to see. First of all, in settings and online, you want to make sure that multiplayer is on. Multiplayer server set to East US. And in the free flight menu, which I'll just back out, which again is free flight, triangle to get to flight conditions in the top right. And from there, multiplayer you want to have set to all players. If it's set to live, you won't see some people that change their time of day or weather. This lets you see everybody regardless of what they're seeing personally. And then everything else I just have to set to live for air traffic and weather and time. And that's it. After that, you should be able to hop into the sim, see all the green icons, and join on up. The reason you're having issues with the 737 takeoff is because you're not adjusting the trim. The default trim is set to a -4 degrees, which makes it difficult to take off. So, here, let me just show you really quick. And sorry to everybody that missed a flight. Hopefully you can make the next one. You are welcome, Jesse. And bye, Paul. Let me just get through this real quick. So, typically, especially in career mode, the plane likes to be set at a -4 degree elevator trim. And if it's that way, let's get this thing booted up here. Just ignore the warnings, not really too worried about it. So if you're not adjusting that trim, you're going to have a tough time taking off because the trim is set to such an angle that it's going to keep you on the ground for a while.
SOSA 74, contact ground on 121.9er.
So I pull back on the yoke. You can see we're not really making any moves here. We're gonna crash on the end of the runway because this is not taking off. So, by the way, this is slew mode that I was talking about. I have it set to square and left on the D-pad. It lets you manipulate the plane wherever. I don't know what's going on with my performance at the moment, but anyways. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to set this to a positive trim. Not too much, like 0.7 or something, that'll work. And you'll notice a vast difference between the two. So if you're having trouble taking off, it is because you are set to a negative elevator trim, which most of the time it defaults to -4 degrees. But if you set it properly, I pulled up a little too early here. This isn't even full power, is it? Oh, it is. But again, I pulled up too early there. Here, hang on. Let me do something really quick. I think multiplayer is still lingering its effects. Do one takeoff that isn't fully stuttery, because I don't want to see that. Alright, let's try that one more time with the trim set differently here. And not me pulling the nose up too early. For glide slope, you want the PAPI lights, the 4 lights next to the runway, to be 2 white, 2 red. And that's how you know you're in the right area and you're on the glide slope. So again, let's do 0.7. Oh, we'll do 0.8. get up to the appropriate speed. And most of the time you'll already have the nose pitching up on your own, you're not even having to pull back on the stick. And there you go. That's the difference between a improperly trimmed takeoff to a properly trimmed takeoff. Well, if you're trying to do ILS stuff, you're going to have to make sure that your systems are all set up with the airport's information. I don't know if this one has any charts. Arrival. Yeah, this probably won't work out the way I want it to. But typically, if there's an ILS, you'll put in the number over here in the top right corner. Because if you don't change that, you're not going to be having any of that going on. So you'll make sure that's all correct. Because then hitting approach and all that won't do anything for you. But anyways, there we go. Mission still missing VIP jobs on PS5. Shouldn't be. I'll check the private charter ones. Yeah, Grand Caravan should be fine. I can always do a double check really quick. I know I was going to end the stream off, but you know. I'm always fine checking these things out real quick. Oh, crap, hang on. This is where I want to be. Vision Jet just froze our crap up. Great. That's why I hate the Vision Jet. Hang on. If you're getting that, just restart the sim. It's definitely not supposed to be doing that. And David, glad you enjoyed the flight. Happy to have you here. But see, that's kind of why I want them to at least put out another regular patch, because that's been happening a lot with specific planes in the career menu when you're buying something. I've had that happen quite frequently, especially with the Vision Jet when I'm trying to do tests. It'll just soft lock the whole thing and you're not able to do anything. Then I don't know, Max. I have no idea. I've not seen any regression with performance outside of the multiplayer nonsense that happens, but other than that, it has been smooth sailing. Alright, let me try this again. And then I'll just do a quick thing with the Grand Caravan after I show this finally. And then we'll wrap up after that. So they're still not spawning everywhere, but they are in the area. I don't know why they're just in specific places, but not 100%, but private charter missions do exist finally, as opposed to not being there at all. But some reason they're... Be funny if it's because they got rid of the West US server or something. But yeah, so they're there, but still, yes, limited for some reason. But alright, let me double check the Grand Caravan in career mode real quick. But by the way, if you want to open up your map, you don't have to wait till you land at places. You can just go right to any airport icon and click on it, and then fast travel. And that'll open up the range. If you stick close, you're under, 500 credits most of the time. So if you're ever wanting to open up your map a little bit more around your area, that's how you can do that. Just click on any of the airport icons in career mode, and you're good to go. Alright. I don't have a Grand Caravan, so let me find an employee mission really quick. I don't want, I don't really want anything. Just give me something like this. Yeah, perfect. We're gonna skip through everything and just get up in the air, see if everything looks normal. It should. I mean, I don't remember having any issues with nav mode. I gotcha, Simon. Because you said search. I was like, you don't have to search, but... While you're finishing up, I'm cooking Italian sausage and gnocchi. I love gnocchi. Delicious. Jason, oh my goodness. Haven't seen that name in a while. Hopefully you've been well. You're just in time for the end of the stream. Skip the taxi, let's just get up in the air. Because I'm assuming what happened is you entered navigation mode while you weren't close to the flight plan, which was causing the aircraft to not go into nav mode. So I'll kind of talk about what I mean by that when we're up in the air here. Yep, now let's take off. We're good.
1 Lima, tree traffic. Cessna November 75549er.
I've been. That's about it. Well, I'm glad you're around, Jason. Happy to have you here. Oh yeah, doing great. No doubt about it. Always nice seeing a familiar name again. And hopefully your work shift goes by nice and quick.
One Lima, tree traffic. Cessna November 75549er. Taking off runway tree 4. Departure to the west. 1 Lima tree.
V1, rotate.
I mean, I pretty much covered everything major that I wanted to cover regarding tutorials. Everything else, I kind of just showcase in streams and everything. And I've also figured out, I think I know why that happened regarding your no autopilot working. So, there's a few things you need to do, especially in the Grand Caravan. You see on the compass right in front of us how we're in LOC mode? Watch what happens if we go into nav mode right now. Absolutely nothing. The plane is just going to drift around. And the reason that is because we're not in GPS mode. So you'll want to hit CDI here until you have GPS on here. Because if you're just in LOC mode, the plane's not going to do anything because it's not tracking your GPS. So it's also not going to be tracking your flight plan. So, plane's still going to just do whatever it wants to do for now, which is fine. Because the other thing is, if it's in GPS mode and you're not next to your flight plan, navigation mode's not going to do anything either. So, we're going to set our heading to intercept the magenta line. So I have it set just to the right of it. So let's activate heading. Nav mode will stay on. We'll just have that activated as well. And what will end up happening is once the plane reaches the magenta line and intercepts it, it'll automatically disengage heading mode and switch over to nav mode, where then the aircraft will follow its flight plan correctly. So my guess is your aircraft was in the wrong CDI. It was in LOC1 and not GPS, which is of course why the plane wasn't doing anything regarding your flight plan. So I'll just altitude hold mode out here so we can get here quicker, because obviously I'm not going to do this mission.
South of 1 Lima Tree. 5500, request IFR to Tree 6 Sierra, ready to copy. Cessna November 75549 are cleared to Tree 6 Sierra Airport as filed. Squawk 6665.
And so you can see GPS is armed. That's why it's grayed out. Green is always going to be what's active. So we have heading mode active currently. And once we get nice and close, you'll see the heading over here on the left side start flashing to GPS. And once it stops flashing, it'll be in nav mode. The plane will automatically bank to the left to line up with our magenta line, our flight plan, which should be happening in about 10 seconds.
Cessna 549er, please acknowledge.
Hey, nice, Jake, or Jack, I should say.
Did you hear my last transmission?
Oh yeah, I heard. I don't care. Leave me alone. Not talking to ATC today. And there it goes. So you see heading mode is now disengaged. GPS mode, nav mode is taken over. The plane's turning left. And it will now fly the rest of this career mission on its own. And that's it. Because once I saw the compass with the green, I was like, oh, I think I figured out why. But cool. Glad that helped out. And you are welcome, Charlotte. But cool. I'm glad that helped out multiple people. So that is definitely... because there's a few planes like that. So if your nav mode isn't working properly and you're on the magenta line, make sure your CDI is set up to GPS right there. And you can see the little soft key button under CDI. You just click that a couple times and you'll be in the correct mode. So there we go, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed another stream of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Yep, could work out why it was green. Oh, I gotcha. Perfect. Oh, and I'm wondering if you heard anything about Sim Update 5 beta release date. No specific release date. We're just a couple weeks away from it starting, though. We'll get a little bit more information maybe today. Maybe they have a bit of a target start date for it. If not, we'll definitely have more of a specific date next Thursday. Or today's not Thursday, today's Wednesday. So tomorrow we should get a little bit more information about it. Yes, the LOC mode, that is what you want to use if you're doing ILS approaches or anything like that, where, you know, the plane will descend on its own and then you take over right at the last second to land. That's when you want to use LOC mode. Typically, it goes into that mode automatically when you click on the approach mode after everything's set up correctly. It'll automatically switch to that. But, yeah. Helicopter settings, it's just the 3 assists for cyclic, tail rotor, and collective. So if you go to assistances, and then I have cyclic, tail rotor, and collective, everything else is default. Regarding sensitivity and settings, whatever the sim came with, I don't change any of that. But you are welcome, everybody. And you're welcome for a PS5 stream as well. Thanks for stopping by and chat or flying with me in the sim. Hopefully you had a fun time, and I will talk to you guys next time. See ya.